Is this the end of an era for Lady Gaga? Does she even want to outdo her older works? She said she's taking a break, but I'm not too sure if it's permanent. The Reddit threads can't get enough of this album. The forum is so busy, it's like my computer will glitch out. When will we ever get a release on Art Pop 2? But more importantly, what will Lady Gaga do next? Hello everyone, welcome to the Zillennial Girl podcast, where I talk about the most important pop culture events that bridge the gap between millennials and Gen Z. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Lady Gaga. Whether she be known for her controversial meat dress, or the way that her vocals emanate through our minds, there's no denying that she's an unstoppable force of nature. In fact, on her Wikipedia page, it literally says that she has become the Queen of Pop, and perhaps one of the greatest artists of all time. But as Gaga settles into her marriage with Michael Polanski, many of her fans wonder when, or if, she'll be putting out another album. I don't believe Lady Gaga is someone who can be easily replaced, because as of now, there's really no one who can easily take that place. Although the chart-topping Miley Cyrus and Dua Lipa come close, they haven't seemed to grasp the star power that Lady Gaga is capable of. Some may think that it's cultural influence, and how many times Lady Gaga has wowed the red carpets. Others perceive her fame as being a product of her wide discography, which spans across many different genres. But if Gaga is shaping her future into being that of a legacy act, it's up to us as fans to determine who could even come close to taking her place. Candidate 1, Miley Cyrus. Miley is one of those artists who has actually been in the pop industry for about as long as Lady Gaga. She charmed America with her breakout role as Hannah Montana, and then later delved off into a solo music career. But with a myriad of controversies plaguing her youth, Miley took the better part of 10 years to get back on her feet. As of now, we see her with her smash hit successes like Midnight Sky and Flowers, which brings a new light to classic genres like disco. With the release of her new album, Something Beautiful, which includes a feature-length film, it seems as if Miley has finally got her groove back. But the question remains, can she successfully become the next Lady Gaga? I easily think that Miley would be the highest candidate for this position. After all, she is a household name and has had a lot of worldwide outreach. But it seems as if Miley has stepped into a more conservative light for now, as her red carpet appearances and live performances have been within her lane. You'll find that this point is reiterated throughout this audio, because at the end of the day, what made Lady Gaga famous? Her quirky stage presence, or her out-of-this-world musicianship? I've come to find that it's a little bit of both. Candidate 2, Dua Lipa. While not coming from America, Dua Lipa's music has certainly left an imprint here. With her smash hit success, Future Nostalgia, Dua took the world by storm with an intergalactic disco approach. With songs like Levitating stacking up more than 500 million views on YouTube, it seems that Dua's influence on music has been a good one. But with a rising controversy surrounding the release of her follow-up album, Radical Optimism, many fans have been conflicted as to what Dua plans on doing next to even out the waters. By all means, I don't think Radical Optimism is a bad album, but with Dua bringing her father in as her manager, that's where things took a turn for the worse. What she advertised as an industrial-flecked dark disco became something that you'd put on a playlist at a summer pool party. Many fans were totally confused, calling it bait and switch, while other people said, just wait for the album and you'll figure it out. But even after its release, fans were left with more questions than they had answers for. In order for Dua to come back into the spotlight full throttle, let alone rivaling Lady Gaga, she needs to recognize what her fans want, and what they were expecting. While many artists have albums that aren't seen as commercial successes, many of them need to rely on business strategies to pull themselves out of that hole, perhaps even more than the music itself. With this in mind, if Dua Lipa had just been honest about what Radical Optimism was leaning towards, then maybe fans wouldn't have seen it as such a radical disappointment. Candidate 3, Ava Max. If Lady Gaga was hosting a lookalike competition, or perhaps auditions for a biopic, I'm certain that Ava would land the role. With her platinum blonde hair and very similar stage presence, many fans wonder why she hasn't risen to the heights of the stars aforementioned. If you're looking at the recipe of what makes a successful pop star, Ava fills all the boxes, and yet for some reason was gone as quickly as she came. That's not to say that Ava's out of the spotlight for good, because she's releasing an album later this summer. But if she doesn't climb the charts like we would expect, it could paint a very different picture than what she's capable of. Similarly to Dua Lipa, many artists have a few albums out before they become a mainstream success. Except Ava didn't necessarily follow that route. Her debut album, Heaven and Hell, was filled with many chart-worthy tracks, such as Kings and Queens and Who's Laughing Now. She even performed on America's Got Talent as a guest star during the finale. But as she approaches the release of her next album, the question permeates as to will that be enough? But on the contrary, why is what she's done not enough already? Candidate 4, Tove Lo. Known to me as the Miley Cyrus of Sweden, Tove is known for her breathtaking sound and unpredictable stage presence. Without limitations as to how she presents herself, it seems to me as if Tove can absolutely rival the likes of Lady Gaga. And yet the fact that she isn't an American makes it all that much harder for her. You may be wondering why this fact is holding her back, as I also mentioned that duo wasn't from the States either. But many would be surprised toward the bias that Americans receive when it comes to radio plays. I'd like to believe that perception is blind when it comes to measuring musical talent, but it seems to me that radio stations here are not giving Tove the airtime she deserves. With that in mind, I don't even know if Tove is on the same playing field as the other artists I mentioned. Her discography speaks volumes across many different musical genres and vocal styles, and yet I feel that due to her nationality, it just won't merely be enough to tap over into the American market. But regardless of who can effectively take Lady Gaga's place, what's to say that someone really needs to fill that gap? After all, Lady Gaga hasn't announced a retirement, and mentioned on a podcast recently that she plans on making a funk-based album. Lady Gaga definitely has more work up her sleeve, but the ultimate question is, when will it be released? With the release of her newest album, Mayhem, which she's taking on tour, the closest thing we might get is a deluxe version, which could contain the very anticipated track, Mustang. With albums really only ranging anywhere from 12 to 16 songs, it's no wonder that fans are hungry for more, so they start listening to other artists with striking similarities. That's not to say that any of these artists are done climbing the heights of success, but if someone was to effectively fill the Lady Gaga position, it would likely have to be by someone who got an honest start into the industry. When regarding stars who topped the charts in the 2020s, Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter might come to mind, but what's very evident is that they were actresses before becoming mainstream musicians, which proves that they weren't just taken out of an audition, such as something on The Voice or American Idol. And it's not just evident within these two individuals' careers. With many fans observing that artists aren't being built from the ground up, we might never see another star who wasn't already known by Hollywood. So the ultimate question of who can take Lady Gaga's place might be a bit redundant. As of now, there's nothing to say that she's quit music, and she'll likely have many other successes in the future. But as fans are anticipating another music release, I can see how the question would find its way through their minds. Acknowledging this, let's take a look at what Lady Gaga has done already. Lady Gaga emerged onto the music scene in 2008 with her breakout album, The Fame, which serves as a Bowie-inspired guitar-laden record, with hits like Love Game and Bad Romance. Born This Way came a little later in 2011, which puts a gothic spin on modern-day experiences. Some tracks that really stand out to me are Amen Fashion and Judas. While her 2013 release of art pop was not commercially appraised, I find it to be one of her most remarkable works to date. The sleeper hit songs Aura and Swine definitely make a standout. Gaga took a different direction in 2016 with the release of Joanne, a country-based album with emotional themes. While John Wayne is my obvious favorite, the other singles have also reached mainstream success. Her 2020 release of Chromatica brought Gaga back to her dance pop roots, with songs like Babylon and Replay paying homage to the styles of David Bowie and Diana Ross. Her most recent edition, 2025's Mayhem, was an instant success, with songs like Perfect Celebrity garnering a near-cult following, with the dark funk track Killa not falling far behind. There's really no telling what Gaga plans on doing next, but one thing's for sure, her career speaks for itself. Not to mention that she is one award away from winning an EGOT, the culmination of an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. To say that Lady Gaga has earned her place in Hollywood would be an understatement. Whether it be her artistic precision, or even a sense of je ne sais quoi, she has figured out the formula to success, to which everyone is wanting to know the recipe. Thank you for watching. Stick around for another.